While France surprised many with its hardline position on the nuclear deal, some believe its behavior can be explained by economics. Let's get more on this from Gerald Celente, publisher of the Trends Journal. Thanks for joining us here on RT. So why do you think France stepped in to stall this nuclear deal?
Well, again, it's difficult to say what's really going on. You only could put the pieces together and look at the latest piece of the puzzle. When you look at all geopolitical actions, behind them all, more than likely, is a money issue, whether it's the fighting for the spice routes or for the oil passageways. And as you look what went on with France just in the last couple of days, Standard & Poor's just lowered their credit rating from AA+ to AA. You look at the recession that France is stuck in. You look at the problems that they're having. And as the reporter just announced or mentioned, that France does a lot of business and wants to continue to do more business with the Arab states, particularly the Saudis, in selling them weapons. And of course, they have a long history, as they did during the Iraq-Iran war, of supplying weapons in those days to Iraq via the Arab nations, the Sunni nations, who look upon Iran, Shia Iran, as a mortal enemy. So I think a lot of this has to do with money and power as well.
Now, what about French influence in the Middle East, including in Iran, where they do still have some business there? Do you think that would suffer as a result of if this deal is reached with Tehran?
Well, there's no question that that business will suffer, but they'll pick it up on other ends. As I look at what the French are doing and look at the short history of the past, look who was the main vocal proponent for war against Libya. It was Sarkozy. Listen to Hollande wanting to go into Syria and punish Assad for allegedly using chemical weapons. Look who invaded Mali last year. The French can't get over their colonial trip and its new colonialism. So what they may lose in Iran, in car sales, auto sales, and other sales, they'll make up by doing more business with the Arab League and more power in places where they've lost it since their colonial days.
France and Israel share some common ground regarding the Geneva talks on Iran's nuclear program. Is that a coincidence, do you think? Is it just strange bedfellows?
They're not strange bedfellows at all. As I said, there's money behind the deal, and we really don't know all the ramifications of who's doing what or promising which. But I have to tell you, as an American citizen, I am outraged at having Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, hitting the American airwaves at any time that he wants and telling American people what we must do and what we must believe. In my estimation, as an American and a believer in the Constitution, anyone that puts Israel before America is a traitor to this nation. And as I see it, with Netanyahu making the rounds around Congress and the power that they're pushing on them to stall these peace talks with Iran to disassemble their nuclear armament, their nuclear program, so that they do not have nuclear armaments, which, by the way, the CIA and other agencies says they're not working toward. To me, any congressman that supports Israel over the United States is a traitor to this country.
All right, that's all that we have time for. Gerald Celente, thank you.
Thank you.